So it looks like today is going to be a Megatron or Minerva Monday. We got some double M news on the beginning of the week in the Transformer world this Monday. So today we're going to talk about some Rescue Bot toys. More specifically, the next iteration of the Rescue Bot toys in the Transformers Classic Heroes Team collection. Now, I understand there's a lot of people who listen to the podcast and, they're not collectors of the Rescue Bots line. And I totally get it. Look, it's not made for a large part of the demo that listen to the podcast. It's made for a younger demographic. It's Hasbro fostering the future, making sure that they have kids at a young age identifying with the brand at a very young age. And that way we keep them for the next 10, 20, 30 years to come, instead of losing them to mobile devices and everything like that. And the Rescue Bots line existed for that. And over the years, we had Rescue Bots, we had Rescue Bots Academy, then we had the Dinobot Adventures line for a short period of time, and now we have the Transformer Classic Heroes team. And in the entire history of the Rescue Bots or this demographic of pricing across those lines that I just mentioned, there wasn't many villain characters. It wasn't really something that they did. Yeah, there was, the more bots, which were like not even really Cybertronian. They were Earth-designed robots. There was a PVC of that, and there was a Flip Changer, and there was, I believe, one of the Rescan figures that was a repaint of, I think, Blur, a retool of Blur. So we had that. And then, of course, there was the human villain, Dr. Morocco. He had a PVC, his little shark tank thingy had his shark sub thingy kind of had a little thing also. And then when we had that Dinobots Adventures line, Predaking was in that, but because the Predaking was a repaint of the Rescue Bots Rescan Heatwave figure, it had a giant Autobot logo right on the chest. So with no explanation or fiction to explain why Predaking is now an Autobot, it still kind of counts as a good guy figure. So that's really it. If you really wanted to assemble a Rescue Bots era villain shelf, you literally just had everything I just listed right there to go with. But now finally, we have our first true Decepticon villain character in this line since it's pretty much began. Geez, what is it? 12 years now? 11 years it's been around. So we finally have Megatron in the Transformers Classic Heroes team. So the Classic Heroes team is a new line that was created in 2022. It has some brand new sculpts, some repaint retools to kind of fill out the line. It's the one that has that awesome Optimus Primal Rescue Bots kind of mold, which is really cool, that I'm still trying to find. Can't find it in the wild yet. Would love to get that one. But yeah, so now we have Megatron. Megatron is finally joining the crew. And we have our first true Decepticon Cybertronian villain that's part of this line after all these years, over a decade. And they decided to make him turn into a drill tank, because you don't want to make him turn into a gun. And you don't want to make him turn into a tank, because, again, this is aimed at more of the play school kind of demographic. So you want to do something that's, I guess, how could you channel something that's evil, destructive, but not be army or war or gun related? Well, I guess a drill tank is one way to go about it. And he even has a little bio on the back here, and it says Megatron digs up trouble with his powerful drill. So it's pretty cool. Again, when you roll the figure, the drill spins, and then of course it's the easy transformations of the Rescue Bot kind of stuff, or in this case, the Transformers Classic Heroes team. So this just started showing up in retail. Hasbro doesn't really do press releases or stuff like that for their play school division. They just kind of put out product and then it's found in the wild. In this case, it was a Walmart in Oklahoma in the United States just yesterday. So if you are interested in bolstering your bad guy display of Rescue Bot stuff and you need something to join your Moorbot and Dr. Morocco, and I guess your Predaking if you want to retroactively make that a Decepticon, you could get your leader Megatron here. And Megatron was never in the show either. You have to keep in mind, Rescue Bots technically was in the aligned continuity. So it would technically be the Megatron from that universe. But because it's the Classic Heroes team, line, which is it Rescue Bots? Is it aligned continuity? Is it not? Is it kind of its own thing? Why is Optimus Primal there? I'm not going to think too deeply about it, even though I already kind of did. But yeah, it's out there. Check it out. Pretty cool. Hey, we finally got a Megatron to join your Optimus and the rest of the crew. Next up, and this is some really big news. We were reporting for a while now talking about the Transformers Legacy Minerva Deluxe class. And the information that we had for the longest time was she was going to be a Walgreens exclusive, and she would be in what's called a standalone case, meaning deluxe classes normally come in a case of 8. And if it's a standalone case, that means it's 8 figures of that person in that case alone. It's not mixed up like 2 of each in some other cases with deluxe assortments. So it would be 8 Minervas in a case of 8. And that would be that for Walgreens. They usually have done that in the past. They did that with their Silver Streak. They did that with their Ratchet. They've done that many times before, and this is no different. But it seems that a fan in, where was it here? In Colorado, in a Walmart, found Minerva. And then, on top of that, because they were pretty much stocking the shelves at the same time, he took a photo of the case assortment, even with its case assortment number of F3001, and then if confirmed that it's the same case assortment number by showing the UPC code case assortment on the box of the Minerva. So very interesting. Maybe it's a shared exclusive. Maybe Walgreens and Walmart will be getting Minervas in full solid cases, which is very good news for a lot of, I guess, non-American fans, because while, Walgreens exclusives, they usually show up in Canada, they show up in GameStops, aka EB Games. In the UK, kind of the same thing. Sometimes they get it in Toys R Us over there. So it's something where this is good news, number one, if it is a Walmart exclusive instead of a Walgreens or a shared exclusive, because it'll give opportunities for non-American collectors to get this character. And even for American people who maybe they live in a city that doesn't have a lot of Walgreens and definitely probably has a lot of Walmarts, that hedges their bets even better and gives them a better opportunity. So that's fantastic news to hear about that because, and I've said this in the past, Minerva has just been one of those characters that every time she had any kind of merch, it was always pricey. Her original toy, forget about it. Over $2,000 to get her complete. So let's not even have that conversation of her original G1 toy. Yeah, she had a PVC, 2 of them. Those are probably the cheapest stuff. Those you could probably get them at $10 a piece or 15. But then afterwards, Wonder Festival model kits. Forget it, over $100. Kotobukiya figures, $80 to $100. What else we have? The Bakon Custom Class one, easily over $500. So even if you want to get just her little headmaster that came with the Legends God Jinrai, you're talking then, again, another $200. So just to get that set. So it's something that I'm very happy to see that there's going to be a good opportunity to get this character. And again, if it's the normal MSRP for a deluxe class, which she is, she's a repaint retool of the Elita 1 from Legacy, then we're talking at least $24.99. Hey, that's awesome. She has a really nice box from what we've seen already from the individual who found everything. I mean, this is hype. This is hype. This is good news. This is a great opportunity for people, and now they'll be able to get one of those ridiculously rare characters. Even her bootleg, her Korean Aladdin bootleg. Aladdin's the Korean toy company. Her Korean Aladdin bootleg I saw go for $150 with a repro label sheet. It's insane. It's insane. It's time to put an end to that. I mean, and this is coming from someone who has like almost every piece of Minerva merchandise. So it's not like me going like, now is my chance. No, I want it for the fans. I want the fans to have that opportunity to own that character and have it on their display. And now they'll get that opportunity, and that's fantastic. Let me know what you think, guys. Keep an eye out for it. This is all stuff that's showing up right now as we speak, so I heavily suggest you go check out your Walmarts for both your Rescue Bot love of Megatron and your Legacy love of Minerva. The M&M today, melts in your mouth, not in your hand.